Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Nateland. It's the podcast called Nateland. Hello. It's been a while since I've started.
That's okay.
Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. Welcome in. Aaron Weber here in the Nateland podcast studio alongside my friends Brian Bates and Dusty Slay.
All right.
Nate is not here this weekend. I haven't seen Nate in, I think it's been 2 years now since I've seen him.
I respect you for sitting out until you guys work out your beef. I respect you just.
Me and him have a lot of work to do on a personal level before I sit across the table from him. But he is in New York City right now, doing a book signing for the book Big Dumb Eyes, which is out. He did the first book signing. Nate doing a book signing.
That's amazing.
What a world we live in.
That is amazing. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's very exciting.
He's making the round. He was on, what's the Kelly and what is it?
Today. He did Today. The Today Show.
Well, he did Kelly and...
did he do that show where you have to dance down the hallway? I'd love to. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. That would be my nightmare.
He did Jimmy Fallon.
What are you guys doing in the hallway here? Just let me. I don't even know why you're filming me walking.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single clip from the actual show.
Yeah, let's start with me in the chair.
But I've seen a million videos of people walking down that hallway.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think it's the Jennifer Hudson show.
I think so.
Yeah, where they walk down the hallway and they dance, and everybody seems to have a good
I thought
time.
they just did it for Carlton because he walked down and then never did the Carlton dance.
Well, I kind of respect that.
I respect it too.
Because he's like, I am a good enough dancer. I don't need the one move that you know me from. You know, have you ever done it? When's the last time you did the set without saying we're having a good time? One of these days you're not going to say it.
Well, I do. I don't say it as much anymore. It's a bit of a tick for me. More, you know what I mean, is a tick for me that I can't.
Well, I'm saying we're having a good time is your Carlton dance.
Yeah, I guess so.
And people, you know, you're a diverse enough and
I was thinking about changing
enough
my own podcast to "We're Having a Bad Time" so I could complain the whole time.
Well,
I don't think the title's stopping you now, buddy.
No, but I want people to know what they're getting into. I was going to say Nate's in New York City. You know, I'll be there May 17th, New York City. First ever New York City show.
Oh.
I was going to say, mate.
Wow. What are you doing? What are you doing?
The town hall.
Town hall? That's big time,
It's
man.
political.
Are you going to take questions from the audience?
Yeah. No, it's so I will be there, and I want people to come. Right now, the tickets are not reflecting that it's the biggest city in America.
It looks like Omaha's bigger than New York right now.
Yeah, that's just what the media tells you.
But we do want to announce the kickoff of Nate's U.S. tour starts tomorrow.
Well, I've been trying to say for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nate did Jimmy Fallon.
Is that a dog?
Oh.
You have a dog with you.
I didn't even realize
that dog's name's Rusty, by the way.
Yeah.
Filling in for Holly.
You guys know
this is Rusty.
Telling
is it the same type of dog as Holly? It looks like the same.
No.
It's got the same kind of
Did you just let that dog lick you in the mouth?
On the chin, but...
Dusty has a different relationship with dogs than Brian does.
Yeah. My dog goes crazy. That's Rusty. He's, I don't know why he's here or who he is, but he's very cute.
Sometimes we just bring animals into the studio.
Yeah. That was fun. Holding him.
But what were you saying?
Nate was on Jimmy Fallon last night. He was on, I can't think of the show, but the show comes on ABC and the Kelly and somebody, right?
Regis.
No.
Michael Strahan?
He's not even there anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Pat Sajak?
He's making the rounds.
Okay. So, Nate's everywhere.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of them because the tour starts tomorrow in Duluth, Minnesota. They also added a third show in Denver, Colorado on Saturday, September 13th at the Ball Arena. Might as well add a third arena show.
Might as well.
In these cities. And you were just in Denver, right?
I was, yeah.
How'd it go?
I had a great time. I love Colorado. Denver was a hot show. Me and Zach Townsend went with me.
Nice.
And, my friend Georgia Comstock, who lives in Denver, came and did the show. It was a really good show. A lot of hair in that show.
From Zach?
Georgia has very long hair. Zach has long hair, and I have long hair. It was a hairy show.
Yeah.
Did you say that on stage?
Actually, Georgia went ahead and said it at the beginning.
Oh,
It's a lot of hair in this show.
All right.
Is that all you want to say about it? I think we're on the where.
Well, I did Denver, Colorado, and then I did Colorado Springs, Colorado. Both really great shows. I did probably an hour 15 in Denver and an hour 20 in Colorado Springs.
Wow, you're whittling it down.
Yeah, I mean, I ramped it up. I mean, I went from 115 to 120. I had to get my feet back under me, and it was good. My manager Judy has a cabin in Colorado Springs.
I've heard about this.
So I stayed there this weekend, and it was great.
I heard it's a real dump, right?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
A lot of deer were hanging out. Me and Zach stood out on the porch and looked at the deer, and we were both eating bananas. And then we threw the banana peel at the deer, and they ate the banana peel.
Really?
Yeah. And then
is that good for him? Did you research that at all?
No, I don't.
It could be like giving a seagull Alka-Seltzer.
Well, I assume that any food that we eat in America is probably bad for the animals.
So might as well give it to him. Yeah.
But and then in the morning, this is on my Instagram, my latest post. Well, may not be my latest post by the time this podcast comes out, but my podcast about Denver at 6 a.m. A robin kept crashing into the window of the bedroom I was in. Like for an hour and a half, it would fall on the ground, get back up, and crash back into the window.
Wow.
It wasn't a huge window. There were huge windows on the other side of the house that made sense that a bird accidentally crashed into it.
Right.
But this bird at some point had to be well aware that there was a window.
Well, I got a lot of questions. Are you sure it was the same bird every time?
Well, I got a video of the bird doing it 3 times in a row. It could have left and another bird came back, but this one did it at least 3 times.
Was it a particularly clean window? Did it look real clear?
It had, by the end. It had blinds.
Blood all over it by the end.
When it first started happening, it had closed blinds.
Wow.
And I got up and opened the blinds to see what was happening, and the bird flew off. And then it came back. And kept doing it.
I'm just wondering why that window, why that room. Did your room smell different from the rest of the house? Probably by the end of the weekend. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I wear a lot of essential oils, and but
it was the eucalyptus that got.
There's like 10 things that could have been attracted to those birds.
Could have been. I had some good protein bars in my bag.
Oh, that'll do it.
As you guys know, I have some serious wildlife issues at my house.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I mean, it was the squirrels were the big thing. Thankfully, they've not been an issue for a while. But I got a couple things going on. I got a woodpecker that likes to peck right outside my bedroom window. And then, but the big problem right now is once or twice a year, we get a skunk smell that permeates through my house. And it stays for days. And I called a company to come out. They looked under the house and like, yeah, we didn't see skunks, but we can certainly see they've been here. They get underneath your HVAC and there's holes underneath your HVAC.
Whoa.
And they get under there.
How did they know they were skunks? Did they tell you? Just like no other animal would do that?
I guess, or I don't know.
They're not spraying?
The skunks?
Yeah.
Well, the smell, I mean, like I said, there's a skunk smell that was in our house.
Well, that's how they know.
Well, I mean, that's why I called them because I think I have skunks. But I thought about that too, Aaron. How do they know it's not raccoons?
Yeah, I was picturing it's not like they have a slime trail like a slug.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, he quoted me a price. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I said, let me think about it.
You got to get some traps. I come trap them.
Is it a flat cost, or do they charge you per skunk? Or how does that work?
It's a flat cost to put in things to keep them from getting in. Now, you've already kind of stepped on a little bit, but my buddy, it's very similar to your joke about the, not quite as extreme as that, but he was like, just get you a couple of traps, put them out there. And I'm like, do you know me at all?
$30.
Then I'm going to be out there trying to trap skunks and then have to carry on, get sprayed. And then,
right.
Yeah. Skunks, that would be, I trapped a raccoon one time. I just let it go. I was trying to catch a groundhog.
Where'd you let it go?
Just right out of in my yard.
The why?
I was trying to catch a groundhog.
Oh, so you didn't care about the raccoon?
Yeah, I didn't want.
I thought you were trying to catch it. Then
no.
No,
I caught some cats and took them to the pound. But,
okay.
Yeah.
So I took some bricks and went out after they left around just put it around all the holes around the HVAC. I thought that's going to fix the problem.
Yeah.
2 days later, I go out there and I'm like, oh, there's a hole there. What is that? Giant skunk poop.
Whoa.
I'm like, that cannot be from a real animal. And I Googled skunk poop and
that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
maybe they're not even spraying. It's just the poop all the time.
He walked up, saw the brick, and he thought, I'll leave him a little message right here.
Yeah, he sent me a message.
Don't wall off my house.
Exactly. So that's what I got going on.
It still smells bad, though, around the house?
It's getting better, but we had to open the windows, and we put out vinegar. I don't even know if that works, but it's supposed to absorb, I guess, the smell.
Okay.
But I was... outside town this weekend, I'm like, I still smell skunk because it was on my clothes. I'm sure everyone there smelled it.
You're just walking around stinking.
That's what I always tell the police when I get pulled over. I go, nah, it's a skunk got in here.
I was thinking about this the other day. You ever wish you could just take a picture of a smell?
I think you tweeted that.
Yeah, I did tweet it. I thought it would take off. Not a lot of people identified with it.
I don't think I've ever thought of it.
I want
the one thing you can't describe.
Show somebody a smell. There's no way to capture it. You can take a picture, you can take a video, but you can't do that with a smell. I guess you'd have to jar it, but even that doesn't work.
You should ask AI to create an image for the smell that you're trying to recreate.
Well, I can do that, but I want people to experience the same smell. And I'm not just talking bad smells like skunks, but let's say, we cook something and there's a really good smell. I want to share with you how it smelled. And there's no way to do that. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. We can capture and share
If you ever want to cook for me, I'll take it.
Well, I was thinking about, that's a good point.
You don't want to share a smell ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
But only
I can say Dusty does share a smell occasionally.
Yeah.
So... yeah, that's a good point. That, and I was thinking about the senses, touch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how you could share that.
Like what? Like what would
sharing a touch?
Give me an example of something that you'd want to share.
Well, I guess you were like on the road and you had some smell that you wanted to share, like with your wife, right?
Yeah.
Well, if something touched you, I don't know. You can video it, but you can't feel.
But you could take whatever has that feeling. You could. Like
recreate it?
If a rock feels weird, just take the rock. Like you can physically have other people.
Well, what was the smell you wanted to share?
I don't even remember. I think it was just, I think I was in an Uber and it smelled like comically bad. Like it was, I stepped in, I was like, whoa. I let out a whoa to this driver and I got to roll down the window and he was just oblivious. This guy just stunk to high heavens. And I was just sitting back there. I was like, nobody will appreciate how bad it smells in here. I'd love to take a picture.
What did he smell like though?
It was a bunch of, and I honestly, I saw mustard in my head. It was like he had mustard in his armpits. And imagine it just gets like caked on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know that smell, but
well, this is why I'd like a picture of it. So I didn't have to come up with a terrible description.
Yellow mustard or spicy mustard?
Oh man, it's brown now. Yeah, Dijon.
Grey Poupon.
Dijon mustard and mayonnaise just in there, dude. And it just and it's a hot car, no AC going.
Where was this?
This was getting picked up from the airport in Nashville.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. It was bad.
Man, I had a ride last weekend. I texted you. I'm like, God. 5:20 in the morning. The guy picks me up. It's a 40-minute drive. Talks the entire time. Never shuts up. I can't even tell what he's saying half the time. He's telling me jokes by the end.
Are you giving him cues that you want to talk, or are you trying to be?
Absolutely not. But I'm also want to be nice and never hurt anyone's feelings. So every time he would make eye contact with me in his rearview mirror, I would be like, whoa, wow, that's incredible. I would just say some verbal thing to act like I'm listening.
What?
But I'm so frustrated. Wild. But I was thinking if I had another comic with me, it would almost been worth it just to share the experience.
It would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
If you and Dusty were in the back because you'd be looking at each other, it'd be great.
Yeah. You and I have experienced some crazy Uber drivers.
Yeah.
And, it's almost fun then. But when you're by yourself.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
The trick is you got to take over. You got to take over.
How do you take over silence?
To where the Uber driver is almost like, okay, I got to focus on driving here.
and no
flip the tables on him. Yeah.
No music playing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Well, he wanted to be respectful because it's early. So let's not put on a lot of music. Let's have a deep conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if you get like the Uber or like the Lyft Black, I think it's more expensive, but sometimes they are a little more into the idea of not talking to you.
Well, that was what was so frustrating is this Uber or the Lyft that picked me up at the Nashville airport. It was a lift extra comfort. It's supposed to be it's a little between a lift black and like a regular lift.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be, you're paying to avoid what I went through, so you just can't trust these things anymore.
No. Yeah. Did you put it in the review? You still give him 5 stars, but you go, hey, this guy smelled a bit.
Well, there's not a button. This guy smells.
There is comments you can leave.
Well, I'm not going to say, hey, bud, you stink.
No, I mean, but why not? Leave a tip, leave a 5-star review and be like, you do smell a bit.
Well, they don't think he likes it.
Yeah, I just put safe driver.
Yeah.
I still feel for the guy.
But I will say this, though, about mine. It was a car service that the venue provided. Oh. The guy calls me the day before just to confirm the pickup time and everything. And he was like, I've driven 1 million comics from this place.
Oh, got to that's know them. The problem.
And they all think I'm funny.
And then he's like, he even alluded to get to know you or something like that. I said, well, it's going to be 5:20 in the morning. And he's like, we'll stop and get some coffee. And but now I feel like we're already kind of know each other. Yeah. Like he's got my number, he knows my name.
You get in the car, Brian.
And he's listening to the podcast.
I wish, but yeah.
I was walking into the Mount Juliet Target. This 2 days ago. I hear Aaron Weber. I turn around. It's a woman in a Suburban, windows rolled down. She goes, I'm listening to the podcast right now.
All right.
Saw me walking into Target.
All right.
How about that?
Yeah.
We're out here. We made it all the way to Mount Juliet.
Yeah. That's a good Target.
It is a really good Target.
But also the Mount Juliet Walmart is very nice. I feel like Target has become what Walmart used to be, and Walmart is what Target used to be. They flipped.
We should do the top 5 retail stores in Mount Juliet.
Yeah, we should.
That'd be good.
I'll jump in on that list. I'll jump in. Our next sponsor, we love Delete Me. It's our old friends, Delete Me. They've been with us.
I do love Delete Me.
Through thick and thin. They make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. It's easier than ever to find personal information. There you go. Took a little.
He gave you 2 tries.
About 90 seconds too late, but it's easier than ever to find personal info about people online. I've done it with these 2 guys. I know everything about these guys. Mm-hmm. I looked up Dusty online. I know everything. I know your social security number. I know your routing number. Mm-hmm. I know all your
Well, I gave that stuff to you.
Okay. Having your address, phone number, and family members' names hanging out on the internet can have actual consequences in the real world, makes everybody vulnerable. You need to use Delete Me. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Nate and use promo code Nate at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Nate and enter code Nate at checkout. One more time, joindeleteme.com/Nate, code Nate. Where was I this weekend? We did a little family vacation for the first time.
Oh, nice.
We flew with the baby for the first time.
How was it?
It was, we learned a lot. I think the next time we fly, things are going to be different. We're going to do things a little different. Like I forgot to get where you can gate check the car seat.
Mm-hmm.
I just forgot. And then we're scanning our tickets to walk in. And the woman's like, what are you doing? I go, can I gate check it? And she's like, you got it. I just looked like I'd never flown in my life.
Was this Southwest?
Flustered. This was Southwest.
When you do family boarding, I don't even know Eleanor's never flown. What's the process?
Well, I didn't do family boarding. I just boarded in the A group.
Oh, I
Me,
see.
Lucy, and the baby.
I see.
So we ended up putting the car seat on a seat in Southwest and buckled it in. But we ended up just holding there the whole time. So I was like, next time we fly,
They wouldn't let you just check it?
Well, they were like, you got to go back to the desk and get a tag for it, or just take it on because there's going to be empty seats. You can just put it on put it on a chair.
So it probably worked out better in the end, huh?
Yeah, but we held her for the whole flight anyway. She doesn't like being in the car seat. So there's just a lot of little things that we learned. I think it'll be better. But we spent the weekend in Blue Ridge, Georgia. We got an Airbnb right on the Ocoee River, had a pool.
Nice.
It was awesome.
That's
Just a great weekend. Swimming with the baby. She loves swimming.
Swimming's fun.
So anytime we can hop in a pool, we like to do that, and just had a good little getaway for a few days.
That's awesome.
Blue Ridge, Georgia, because I'm about to be back at it on the road. So it was nice to get away for a bit. But I missed you guys.
And we missed you too.
Let's get into these comments. Huh?
I
heard Derek Stroop's replacing me. That's
we
what everybody
had the
said.
next best thing to Aaron Weber. We had Aaron Weber Jr. in here.
You had a high energy Aaron Weber in here.
Yeah.
Would you mind before we get in the comments if I shared my weekend?
I thought you just. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to skip you.
No, it's all right. I was in Columbus, Ohio.
My bad.
This will be quick. I was in Columbus,
Ohio.
Ohio.
Take your time with it. Draw it out.
I did a show for an organization called Alex's Sunnyside Playroom. And it's a wonderful organization. What they do is build playrooms for kids in adult hospitals. So if you're, heaven forbid, your loved one, your parent, your mom, your dad, whatever, is in the hospital for an extended period of time, the kids have nowhere to, play.
Yeah.
So children's hospitals are covered, but adult hospitals, most of them do not have a place for the family to go. So they build these rooms in these hospitals, which I think is great.
That's awesome.
And
they should do that at McDonald's now because they're getting rid of all the play places.
I know.
Yeah, it seems like the pharmaceutical company should just put the money up for the play part thing at the hospital.
Well, they're not, and this is what this group is stepping in.
And I like that. I like that, but it does seem like they should just do that.
What are there eggs involved? Why is it called Sunnyside?
I know Alex was the guy who passed away, and his wife started this foundation because they had 2 small kids. I don't know the Sunnyside part of why it's called that, so I missed that. But anyway, great organization. It was
maybe just trying to be happy.
Yeah,
seeing things on the sunny side.
Maybe so. But it was a great time.
Where is that? Ohio?
Columbus, Ohio.
How about that? Home of the Ohio State.
I love Columbus.
Oh, yeah. I got on my Southwest flight, and the flight attendant goes, OH.
Oh, did they yell IO?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can understand how people get annoyed with Roll Tide, but OHIO is the worst one. It is the most annoying of all the college football yells. And I like Columbus. But I think it's OHIO and then Roll Tide is under there. I love Roll Tide. Roll Tide doesn't annoy me, but I can understand if you're not an Alabama fan, how it would. And I think it goes OHIO, then Roll Tide.
Well, it was that ESPN commercial that really changed things. Do you remember the ESPN commercial where everybody's saying Roll Tide?
Yeah.
And that was very funny. But you're like, well, that's not how people don't do that. Everyday life in Alabama.
I don't know. Depends on where you're at, I think.
Stardome, they do.
But you're not holding the door open for somebody at Winn-Dixie and you go, Roll Tide.
If they're wearing a hat that says
if they're wearing an Alabama thing. But in the commercial, it's just like.
What just happened over there?
2 regular people talking.
Yeah.
Anyway. But that changed the way Roll Tide
I feel like it almost ruined people on Roll Tide because Roll Tide was more of a fun thing to do. But when that commercial came out, it made it too mainstream.
That commercial out right now might be the worst commercial I've ever seen. That I think it's AT&T. I don't even remember where the guy's saying high tide. High tide. He's getting it wrong. He's trying to say Roll Tide and he's saying high tide.
Oh, nobody does that.
That's the worst commercial.
That's the joke. They know nobody says that.
Oh. Yeah, he's like a guy pretending to be a fan and he's going high tide, everybody, high tide. Horrendous.
Yeah,
if it's AT&T, I'll never support AT&T. I'll never use them again.
They have a similar commercial where
I can't believe you guys are watching commercials.
Well, during sports.
During sports. That's a very common commercial.
Yeah.
During sporting events.
What sports are you watching right now?
I'm watching a lot of baseball right now. Braves are getting things together right now.
Well, anyway, they have got that one with the guy yelling high tide. There's another one where a guy runs on the basketball court to celebrate too soon. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that.
Equally bad.
What's it for? Do you even remember?
I think it's the same. Maybe it's AT&T.
Oh, God, AT&T's putting out some garbage right now. Good for them. That's why I'm a T-Mobile guy.
I'm AT&T.
It's too bad. You know what? You would be.
Let's
get into these comments. They come from Twitter.
I've been an AT&T customer for over 20 years.
And what have they ever done for you?
They provide great phone service for me.
Okay.
And I have the internet now too.
Yeah. You like all the 5G towers around town?
Well, I think
the comments today come from
Did you mention this, Aaron?
They're all doing that.
Yeah.
Did you mention that?
No, I didn't.
And no, I don't.
But Nateland, June.
No, I don't.
One more Nateland announcement. June 22nd, 23rd, 24th. That's the 22nd through the 24th of June. We are coming back with season 3 of Nateland Presents the Showcase. Those shows are always a lot of fun. You got to be in the room. They really are awesome. Tickets are on sale if you want to be part of the taping right here in Nashville. And then obviously we've got the other podcasts, The Consumers, every Tuesday. Don't Let Me Come Back There every Thursday. Steven Rogers special, Half of We is out. Check that out on YouTube. My special, Signature Dish, and Nick Thune's Born Young, all on the Nateland Entertainment.
I understand that on The Consumers, Greg Warren was trying to steal my Working Man thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard that?
No. What was he doing?
Greg Warren. Now he's got a special coming out called Working Man. And
does he really?
No, he doesn't. But something happened. I don't know what it was, but they mentioned Working Man. Then a bunch of people came in the comments and
defended you.
Defended me.
Wow,
which I'm all about. And
dump Greg.
But Greg had a nice funny rant.
Yeah,
making fun of people, and it was good.
Yeah,
Greg's very funny.
Comments today come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast Reviews, and Nateland at natebargatze.com. First comment comes from David John. Sounds like a fake name.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
It's a witness protection name.
John David, maybe.
John David's a name, though. You need a last name.
Yeah. Oh, is John David a name just by itself?
Sounds like it.
I grew up with a lot of John Davids. John David Parker, John David Burrow.
I know a John Davis.
Oh, but John David, like almost hyphenated.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is. Anyway, David John. Whoa! The Nateland team is stepping it up with intro graphics and animation. Good stuff.
We got a good team here.
Yeah, we got. Did you see the new graphics last week?
Look at these guys up here.
Oh, yeah.
None of them paying attention to what we're saying, but we got a good team here in the room.
They even had Derek in the graphic.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Really trying to shoehorn him in.
Yeah,
Huh?
I'm back on it this week, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anthony Jane. I can't believe none of you guys had heard of the game Jackpot. That was a core memory for me from grade school. I'm going to need Aaron to come through for y'all like he always does and say he played Jackpot as a kid. Let me tell y'all, I dominated Jackpot as a kid. We usually play with, either regular football or like a Nerf football would be a lot of fun. Did y'all talk about Jackpot and how it's played and what the game
Derek
is?
talked about it a little bit. He
I
couldn't
never
remember.
heard of this. I don't even remember that from last week.
It was when he was like, you throw it and yell 500 points.
Yeah, you say like first one to 5,000 and then the whole group and you go 500 and you throw it and it's a blast. It's a good game.
Came through for Anthony.
We played another game a lot that I don't know what you're allowed to call it now.
I played that one.
Yeah. That was like the family game. We played that at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And everybody just called it that.
Yeah.
Not thinking anything about it. But anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a game where you tackle.
It's got a rhyming title.
You tackle the guy with the ball. And
I did know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Next comment comes from Reverend John Fletcher. Reverend John Fletcher.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of pastors that listen.
Well, this could be a Catholic priest. We'll see. On our school bus route, we pass a golf course every day. Every other day. Oh, this guy's talking about when he was a kid.
Yeah, we did school episode.
On our school bus route, we passed a golf course every day. Every other day, we'd all hit the side of the bus in unison and pretend we got hit with a golf ball. The gasps and the shock were some of our greatest performances. I'm not sure what was more annoying, us then or realizing later in life the bus driver wasn't as stupid as we thought and knew it was us. It's a pretty
fun
good
game.
That is a fun prank.
I don't understand what they're saying. I was with them until the bus driver. I don't understand.
Well, they'd ride by the golf course. They'd all pretend that the bus got hit with a golf ball to prank the bus driver.
We just got hit.
Yeah, he's saying now the bus driver probably knew the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a big mirror up there. He's watching all of y'all.
Yeah.
Did y'all ride the bus to school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I never did. I feel like I missed out on that.
Yeah, you did.
Glenn Teep. Brian Bates's humph. Yeah, it should be Brian Bates's. Should be an S after that apostrophe. Brian Bates's humph is underrated. He does it all the time, and it's especially strong when Dusty says something a little flat earthy.
I've never said flat
And then you just hear Brian saying, humph.
I've never said flat earth.
Well, he just says flat earthly, like something in that vein.
I never say anything in that vein.
That was great.
That is good.
Yeah. Good looking out, Glenn Teepee. Corey Richardson. It should cost less for companies to advertise on Nateland when Aaron isn't there to read the ads.
Ooh. How you feel about that, Eric?
I will say it's in our best interest to maybe not tell these companies that, the lineup's different every week. You know what I mean? This is the Nateland podcast. Nate's always here.
Well, we're all pros here.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I keep saying. You guys keep trying to put us lower, but I keep trying to tell everybody we're all professional comedians.
That's right.
But in this case...
And I put on a very good show. I don't know what you guys are doing out there, but I'm very proud of the show I put together.
I'm hit or miss, but
I'm more miss.
We both have good shows.
Yeah.
Donna Worley. Dusty's advice on the gardening episode was solid. Grow what you like. Use what you have around. Doesn't matter if you live in a room or on a farm. Plant a few things you want to see or eat. The creation's already been done for you. Just add love, water, and sun.
Donna's right, and I appreciate that, Donna. I'm going to tell you, I'm amazed all the time at growing. Like, if you plant a little bitty tomato seed, it's so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, you plant this thing in the ground, and it grows up a giant plant.
Yeah.
And in that plant, it produces tomatoes. Each tomato having loads of seeds. It just blows my mind how
wild.
this happens.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Growing
the evolution of it all
is so it's not evolution, but the growing is amazing.
Yeah,
it just is unbelievable. I like to credit God with that
Yeah.
and not time, but it's amazing. what happens.
Yeah, God, the guy who created time.
Yeah.
Well, but
Did you know
evolution
that-
is all. Well, I don't know if God created time. I mean, we kind of created time. God created
time and space. Yeah,
but I don't know. Time is just
the world as it is what I'm saying.
yes.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing to watch things grow. I mean, so many seeds. Like if you plant one sunflower seed, it can grow this huge sunflower, and in the flower is hundreds of seeds. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's wild. Somebody told me after the gardening episode, and I don't know if this is true, but let's say you have 2 tomato plants, one of the plants, if you say nice things to it, and then if you say mean things to the other plant, the nice one will grow more.
I don't know if that's true, but I have heard that sort of thing. Like
I've heard that with houseplants.
That just
Yeah,
in
what
general.
is that? What's happening?
Some people say that if you put the seed in your mouth before planting it, that seed can pick up on your DNA and grow what you need for your body.
Who's saying that?
People say it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
They say that birds also, the chirping of the birds, the songs, help the plants grow, help the flowers open, help those things that people have played classical music for birds at a certain frequency that made the plants grow larger.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Put a seed in your mouth and it grows. A tomato grows with nicotine in it.
That'd be amazing.
That's what it needs.
That'd be amazing.
That's what the body needs. Todd Weinberg. If this podcast was an ice cream sundae, I love this. Breakfast would be the ice cream because he's the foundation of the pod. Aaron would be the sprinkles because he's always fun to see. Well, thanks.
Okay, Todd.
Dusty would be the nuts because that's the only thing in a sundae he would eat. And Nate would be the cherry because it's not always there, but when it is, you really appreciate it.
I'll be honest. I mean, the ice cream is what I love ice cream. I mean, I think ice cream's bad for us? Yeah, especially how we make it now. But you can buy.
But I don't think anybody is saying it's good for us.
But you can buy ice cream that's made with raw milk.
Yeah.
And then you can sweetened with honey.
Yeah.
And very good for you.
Yeah, you can also just open up the lid, pour it directly in the toilet because you're going to throw all that up. That sounds disgusting.
It's amazing.
Heather.
It's amazing. I mean, that's too bad. It's too bad for you.
I don't know. I think Bluebell figured it out. Heather Baker. I asked a gentleman sitting in an aisle seat if I could grab the window seat in this row. He had a backpack in the middle seat from the start, and I thought he might be waiting for a friend to board. I'm going to stop you right there. It doesn't matter. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You can't reserve a seat.
Right.
You can't do that. If you want to sit with a friend, you go back and board with them.
Yes.
You don't hold a seat for somebody that hasn't boarded yet. I'm already on your side, Heather. I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm excited. He had a backpack in the middle seat from the start, and I thought he might be waiting for a friend to board. He remained standing once I was seated and continued to stand until everybody had boarded the flight. It dawned on me he was standing to prevent anyone from taking the middle seat. He stayed busy on his phone and had his back to the front of the plane to avoid eye contact, I assume. Is this brilliant or incredibly rude?
Incredibly rude.
Brilliant.
Really? You're a fan of this, Brian? You like it?
No, but I think if somebody was standing, that would make me more inclined to say, "Can I get
while
in
you're
here?"
up, let me go ahead and get in there, bud.
If you're going to have to grab a middle seat, why not ask the guy who's already standing?
That's why I do the opposite, which I get settled in, put the armrest down, I buckle up. They see me and they go, "It's going to be a whole thing to get him to stand up." If I'm already standing up, they go, "Hey, you mind scooting out real quick?" So I don't even know if this is an effective strategy. Keeping your back to the aisle.
I think that would.
Look, I respect gamesmanship. That feels a little too far.
Yeah.
That feels a little too far. Look at your phone. Don't turn your whole back to the aisle. And you're just lying to people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I respect moves and like being cunning with it, but that feels like too much. I don't know. Was he a nice guy? Let me know, Heather. Did you talk to him at all?
Probably
I don't
not.
know. I don't know how exactly I feel about it, but no, backpack on the middle seat. It's illegal.
Well, I had other day on a Southwest flight, they started. Have you ever had this happen? They started boarding before the scheduled boarding time.
A couple times that'll happen. Yeah.
But isn't that unfair? I was in the B group. It didn't affect me.
Yeah.
But by the time whatever it was we were supposed to board, time it hit the time, they'd already gone all the way through the A group.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And if you or say,
because maybe I'm gonna go use the bathroom 10 minutes before or something, and you don't get back in.
And
time.
I saw people walk up, and I think they missed their spot. It didn't seem right.
It's a lesson.
I would, if it were me, I would send an email and I would get some money back from Southwest.
Oh, okay. Do that.
That's what I would.
It didn't affect me.
Oh man,
I was in the B group.
Oh, I wish it did.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Are you ready to win Mother's Day and cement your reputation as the best gift giver in the family?
Boy, howdy.
Give the moms in your life an Aura digital picture frame.
That is a great gift.
Preloaded with decades of family photos.
Whoa. Preloaded by you.
Preloaded by you. Yeah.
Not just Aura just loads it up.
If Aura has that info, we need Delete Me more than ever. But they are really good frames. I like them a lot. I do like, because the old way was you have to put them on a chip and then you have to insert it into the frame, and then those pictures stay up there forever because you never reload.
And even before that, you had to print a picture out,
put it in
on
an album,
paper, and then put it. Yeah.
This way, you can have the phone. You can have the app on your phone. Take a picture of your daughter, load it in there for your parents to see right away.
Right.
The grandparents can get real-time uploads of their grandkids.
It's great. You'll never have to talk to them again.
That's the only way my parents see the kids. So it's
That's not true.
not completely true. I do text some to them too. I like to think I'm a good gift giver, but honestly, it's easy to be a good gift giver with Aura Frames. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter and by Nateland, and it's easy to see why. There's unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos, videos, and funny memes as you want. And it is so simple to set up. Just plug it in and share away. Another idea, if you have a friend, whether they be liberal or conservative, you can send them this and then upload memes of the political party that they're not for.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. It's not just pictures. You can upload videos up to 30 seconds long, and your favorite live iPhone photos will play right on the frame. The embedded speaker can play audio on demand. You can whisper things in there that they don't know is on the thing. Aura is a great deal for Mother's Day.
You're framing this as like a prank gift. Like you can harass your family.
That's how
conspiracy theories.
That's how great it is that you can use it for good things or, be a little funny about it.
Right.
Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on their perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's AURAframes.com. Promo code NATE. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Wow. Jordan Johnson. Shout out to Dusty. His country radio playlist on Spotify absolutely slaps.
Boom, Jordan.
My family recently did a road trip from Omaha to Dallas, 10 and a half hours each way. And that playlist was the perfect soundtrack. A+ work, Dusty.
That's called Dusty Slay's Country Radio on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I put a lot into that, and I appreciate that, Jordan. I put a lot into that list. I like every song on it a lot, and I appreciate that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you have great taste in country music.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Maybe all music. I don't know music that well. You guys know music very well. But anything he's recommended.
Great taste.
Well,
do you think great taste is liking fewer things? Or do you think it's a virtue? Do you think liking fewer things is a virtuous thing?
I guess that's
it is, yeah, because it means you're really like
discerning.
Honing your taste.
So you have an appreciation for fewer songs than I do, and that's better?
I can appreciate a lot of songs, but that doesn't mean they're good.
And since I don't know music, I shouldn't say great taste, but you
were right the first time.
I like, usually if he recommends someone that I didn't know, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows a lot of deep cuts that I don't know from artists I know. And, so he's good. And I like your music taste. I really love your
You're right
taste.
to stumble on it. You're right to stumble on his when you said, I like your music taste. You're right. Because even your brain was shorting out as you were saying it. No, I like Aaron's music too. I'm not hating. But Aaron loves
I like
to
yours
hate on
too,
mine.
but I think I like more stuff than you do.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, you only listen to one genre of music from a 10-year period.
That's not true.
And I listen to everything.
That's not true. But you
it has to sound like it's from that 10-year period.
Well, no, I mean, you just have to realize that new country music, the majority of it, especially what they play on the radio, is not good. It's not good.
Okay. It's not even what we're talking, moving the goalposts.
Well, you're saying that I like it from a certain period, and I wish that I didn't. I wish that they would continue to crank out the good stuff.
I wish that everything sounded like the kind that
Zach
I like.
Top is a good example of he's like 90s country, which I like 80s and 70s country too. But 90s country was what I grew up on, and Zach Top sounds like it, and people love Zach Top. They're like, oh, this guy's great. But the thing about it is there's a lot of people making music like Zach Top, but they will not play them on the radio. And I think that's a shame. I have a friend who works for a radio station, or a guy I worked with. We became friends. But I said to him, do you get to play any of your own music? And he goes, oh, no. He's like, they send the whole list, and I just have to play what's on the list.
Right.
So so it's my belief that these big radio stations are working with the record labels, and the record labels tell them what to play. Sure. And so you never get a chance. This guy can't even pepper in an artist and go, hey, I really like this. I'd like to start playing this. And there was a band, I forget who it was now, but I just heard this story recently. They got very popular. It was because a radio DJ in a town really liked them and started playing their music. And then it picked up and they became a success. And I just don't think that happens as much anymore because radio stations seem to be owned by record labels. And I think that hurts us all.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And fewer people listening to radio. It's like all those things happening.
Yeah.
Right. But maybe, if you like Brian said, he found a station here in Nashville that plays 90s country. And it's like, if we knew those things were out there, we might tune in more. But when you go, oh, you're just going to give me the 10 mainstream hits, that's not worth it. You know what I mean?
But your movies are a lot of my favorites too.
Appreciate that.
Excellent movie taste.
Appreciate that.
Really good movie
Thank you,
taste.
guys.
Really good. You're the best editor of stand-up clips. I wish that I could hire you to do my stand-up clips. You're very good. You get creative with it. You're very good. But
just not good with music.
Yeah.
Jalen Smith. That was Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the political and economic state of the world? Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
And then that guy goes, bro. no! Have you seen that? Yeah. That's one of my favorite clips. I watched it so many times. Jalen Smith, Dusty picked a great place for his cabin if he likes planting trees, which he does.
Yeah.
If you type nursery capital of the world into Google, it brings up McMinnville. Mm-hmm. It also talks about how our climate is great for growing all kinds of plants. Love the show. Love hearing Dusty mention my hometown.
Yeah, McMinnville's great. I have planted, 40 trees.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm doing a show tomorrow night in McMinnville.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
You should stay at my cabin.
I guess I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just drive home, right?
Yeah.
It's not that far. That's really nice.
Honey, I know you need help with the kids, but I'm staying at Dusty's cabin tonight.
Yeah, stay there.
Check in on the trees.
I just built a deck.
That's cool.
Built a nice deck out there.
A wraparound or
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My mom used to say that was her dream.
Yeah.
Was to have a wraparound porch. So far, looks like it's never going to happen.
You'll do that for her one day.
I will one day.
Yeah.
Get a wraparound porch. Ricky Thurston. That got serious there for a second.
I like that name, yeah. Thurston. I'm thirsting to death out here.
I'm going to get Ricky a Sprite. He's thirsty. Ricky Thurston. Aaron was expecting a big laugh with his Hawaiian shirt joke, but he only got a aloha. Only got aloha.
It's pretty good.
That's really good. That's really good. I wish I had that on me during that show.
Yeah.
I would have broke it out for sure.
From now on though.
I still stand by Hawaii Not. I think it's a good joke. I think I didn't come up with it. It was something that a group of my friends would say every time somebody had a Hawaiian. We're going to start a company, HawaiiNot.com, and try to sell Hawaiian shirts.
Now, someone commented you owe the Eddie Cat lady an apology.
I owe who an apology?
Eddie Cat.
Yeah.
I don't think I do, but why do they? Because
it's the
that
same
joke was
vein.
so bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hawaii, though, I had a friend. You ever listen to that Nelly album, Country Grammar? You remember that?
Yeah.
On that, in between, you had Cedric the Entertainer doing little sketches like he was trying to call Nelly.
Yeah.
And on one of the, at the end, he goes, "Ah, holla." He's like, So my friend started doing, he would go, "Ah, holla." That's how he would say bye to people. He'd leave a message. He'd go, and then we moved to Charleston and we started making these new friends, and these new friends had no idea what he was saying. They thought he was saying like "mohala," which is like
Valhalla.
They were like, "What?"
Yeah, that's the you answer. Why that? You're doing that, and then it's like you're just saying nothing.
Yeah,
you're saying a bunch of stuff. I love a bit. I love a bit with a group of friends.
Yeah,
that just becomes you're just saying it. Nathan Sabronke. Dusty really hit a home run on his list of country songs about dads. I was wondering, with Mother's Day coming up soon, if you could do the same for mother's songs.
Boom.
Well, maybe that's a good segue into our topic this week. Maybe we'll save it for the end.
Well, look at that.
Okay.
Look at that segue. Good work, Brian.
This week, we're...
Not too close to the end.
Yeah, because you need some time.
Yeah. I will say...
The last 30 minutes will be for you.
I will say... I was doing this research and it's hard. There's a lot of new, if you look up on Spotify, songs about country songs about moms, it's a lot of new country that I would never put in any top 5 list. Mm-hmm. So it's harder to find songs
Post Malone.
Yeah. No, thankfully no, but it's hard to find songs about moms than about dads. A lot of mom stuff in the title, but not really about the mom.
Right.
So, but I got a list though.
Okay.
And
I'm excited.
And it's a hot one.
I'm excited.
I found the same. We did an episode on dads and for Father's Day. Mother's Day is this Sunday. And we looked at some movie dads, some TV dads, or at least good. Is this dad good or bad? Things like that. For moms, it was a lot harder.
Yeah.
Movies are dominated mostly by male actors. And I don't know, there was a lot of you disagree with that, Dusty?
No, I don't know. When you said it, I just thought that.
Sitcoms, most sitcoms, there's a million where there's a man playing a dad and he's the lead character.
And he's the doofus, and then the mom is holding the family together.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of it would be a weird show if the mom was the doofus. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, because it would just change the whole tone of the show.
Yeah.
If King of Queens, if the wife was like the overweight loser,
Yeah,
and then he was like a high-strung, high-achieving professional, just every joke would be different. Yeah, it'd be a whole different show.
yeah. I mean, I found a few I want to throw to you guys, but I'm just saying
These are bad moms?
Or good moms, or we can debate whether they were good mom or bad mom.
You got the one from What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
No, I know. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
That's a terrible mom.
Yeah, I know.
Well, all right.
Just kidding.
I know. I mean, it is. Like, she is a bad mom.
So Mother's Day is this Sunday. It always falls on
just that she went upstairs to die. It's like, don't make this hard for us.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but
you remember the mom?
Yeah.
They could have inherited, they could have passed the house on, and instead they wanted to save her and themselves some embarrassment, so they burned the house to the ground. Mm-hmm. She could have died on the front porch, and then they could have kept that house for themselves.
But don't you think the burning the house was symbolic in a lot of ways too? Burning away the past.
Yeah.
Burning away all the bad things they've inherited from their family.
But sometimes you just got to deal with your trauma in order to keep a free place to live.
That's the moral.
Do movie reviews and be like, guys, let's cut the symbolism. You got to sell the house, put that money into a Roth IRA. Get some land.
Yeah, exactly.
Give yourself to God, and it would be a better movie.
Yes,
that's funny. All right, so Mother's Day, there was a woman named Anna Jarvis who wanted to honor her mom, so she pushed for 1907 for a day called Mother's Day, and it took a little while for it to take off, but she kept pushing for it. And eventually, it became more and more widespread to the point where by 1914, President Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation designating Mother's Day for the second Sunday in May as a national holiday to honor moms. But
now the rest of us have to do a lot of
work
out here.
But here's the turn.
All right.
Yeah, here's the turn. Dusty, you like this?
Okay.
It quickly becomes so commercialized that she regrets suggesting it. She's like, this is never what I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to be a day to honor our moms. And now it got to the point where she didn't even want Mother's Day. She started protesting Mother's Day events and tried to get it canceled. So she did a complete 180.
That's a great, I love this analogy though for things. The moment the government gets involved, you're like, I wish this had never happened.
Well, I think Hallmark got involved.
Yeah, it's the companies that.
Yeah, the government got involved, and then Woodrow Wilson was like calling up Hallmark. He's like, we can both make a little money here. I'll buy some stock in Hallmark. You start printing some cards.
Maybe, but that's very interesting that the woman who started Mother's Day tried to stop it by the end.
Yeah, I love that.
I never thought of this. Mother's Day, it's apostrophe S, not S apostrophe. It's honoring your mom, not all moms.
Mother singular.
Yeah.
The day of mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know apostrophes very well.
Well, if it
I mean, I trust you.
It's not mothers plural. It's one mother.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't understand apostrophes in that way.
Well, then how do you understand what we're saying?
Well, I understand that you're saying it's done incorrectly, or people celebrate it all mothers when they're saying it's just about your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand but I just don't. I wouldn't be able to write out what you're saying.
Okay, but you can hang for the conversation.
Yes.
We all have jokes in our act about our mom. Have you ever had a joke? I mean, I at least know one you did about the birds and the hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
That
was a good one.
What's a good one?
That was all right.
That one about how you hate your mom. I remember that one too.
Stop.
She wants a wraparound porch.
That's 85% of comics have some joke about how they hate their parents and hate their family and everything.
It is true.
Everything about their lives.
Dusty, you mentioned on your podcast this week, you had a joke posted about your dad that he probably did not like.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is what I went to LA. I did the stand up on the spot show. And, I said, and I always say, I'm in LA. I'm like, nobody, and they yelled out Hawaii. And I said,
Hawaii not?
Yeah. and then Jeremiah Watkins asked me, he goes, have you ever been to Hawaii? And I said, no. And I go, my dad has been married 4 times and he took his first 3 wives to Hawaii. And so now it's kind of a running joke in a way, but he's still not done it. He refuses to take his 4th wife to Hawaii because he feels like that's a curse. And then I go, he thinks that's the curse and not yelling at everybody. and I just was being funny. But then they cut the clip up and I go, man, that doesn't look good for my dad. And I'm just making jokes.
Did you collab with it?
Yeah, I did collab. And I know he watches my stuff. So I'm like, I'm not trying to trash my parents out here. Right. I was just trying to make a fun joke. He did yell at me a lot, but what dads are? But
you
yelling?
Deserved it.
And I yell at my kids now. We're passing it down.
Passing it down.
So I got to burn your house and start over, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I told my dad that the other day. I was talking about how a lot of parents will give their kids iPads and give them a lot of screen time. And I said, we don't do that in our family. We're old school. We just yell at our kids.
That's right. Somebody was like, man, I try to joke about this. Somebody was like, this is way back in the day I tried it. Somebody was like, man, back in my day, we didn't have screens, dude. We didn't have screens. I was like, yeah, you did. They weren't invented.
Yeah.
You don't think you would have had, like, what do you It's just like, yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
They came around after you became an adult.
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't like good.
All they had was a screen porch.
We just go out in the field with sticks.
Yeah.
That's all we needed, you know?
All we needed was to throw pine cones at each other and beat each other with sticks. I got a kid threw a rock. He's still my friend, though. He threw a rock, hit me in the head. I was bleeding out there in the yard.
I smoked a pack a day cigarettes, and I looked like I was 40 when I was 18. Things were much better back then, dude. I worked 14 hours a day at the mine.
It was a simpler time.
We just drank microplastics out of the garden hose.
Yeah, we didn't have screens.
We drank out of the garden hose growing up. Now we all eat Prilosec because our stomachs are destroyed.
Well, I have a joke that talks about how everyone says, this is the softest generation ever. They should be.
Right.
Because we don't need 8-year-olds working the coal mines for 14 hours a day.
Exactly.
Every generation is going to be the softest because we're evolving or progressing, as a society.
Unless something bad happened, then we need, God forbid.
Hard times create strong men.
There you go. And behind every strong man is a strong woman.
Yeah.
Like our mom. Dusty, have you ever had a joke about your mom that you either regretted or you think she got upset about?
Well, I had a joke I was working on for a little while because when I was a kid, this is a story I've told a million times, but when I was a kid, my mom left me in a running car. And I was like not even 2 years old yet, but I was standing, and it was the gear shifter on the steering wheel, and I pulled it down into drive and drove the car into a pond. And there was a lady who drowned her kids named Susan Smith.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what Casey Anthony did. I didn't realize what it had. So I was making a joke.
Accused of.
Yes. And I was making a joke about that. I said, my mom was the original Casey Anthony. And it actually would get a huge laugh. I go, she was the original. It just didn't work out. I got out of there. Right. And I was doing the joke. And then I realized it was a lady named Susan Smith. Nobody knows that name. And the joke never had the impact. And I told it to my mom one time, and she did not seem to care for it. So I never did it.
She didn't like being called Casey Anthony.
I wonder why.
So I quit doing it. But yeah, I mean, that's, I'd say maybe the only one that I was like, nah, I wish I hadn't done that. Because,
Did you ever try the joke? My mom was the original Susan Smith.
I did, yeah.
Did it ever work?
No.
You have to do that in South Carolina, I think.
Oh, okay. And I actually even tried it where I prefaced who Susan Smith was.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe you just got to let them know.
And it just...
it's too much setup.
Maybe I'll revisit
You tell the whole story. He goes, all right, just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's going to come back later.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
I have a joke. What I think is a good joke that includes a callback to a joke that's not that good, but I have to do the joke that's not that good.
Yeah.
And sometimes that joke is not doing well, and I'm like, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
You're going to be so happy I told this
It
joke.
is worth it. I've done that too.
I got to sit through this joke that's objectively not that funny, but I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah.
Trust me on this.
Yeah. I like that. I like that because you are like, you're sacrificing a bit of a laugh in the beginning for a bigger payoff later.
Right.
And that's what comedy's all about.
I just try to write strong jokes throughout. But anyway, you do you, Aaron. We're all different.
It's worth it for a good callback.
Yeah, she did. I'm reading the Susan Smith Wikipedia. It's a dark reach. You got denied parole last November.
Yeah. When you Google, again, I Google bad dads, it's just deadbeats. But you Google bad moms, it's really dark.
Yeah.
It's really dark. But your joke about your mom, kind of making fun of her about not knowing, I guess, how Google works.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a running joke in our family that my mom's very smart. My mom's a math teacher, but it's just an age thing where they don't use the internet as fluently as the kids do. So the joke is that my mom, when she'll Google things, she types into Google like she's writing an email to an old friend or something. Dear Google, like my son was just asking me about blah, blah, blah. That's the joke.
It's a great joke.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It's an old one. But
so she was cool with it.
Yeah. She was cool because I think it's so absurd. It's not like, I'm not like, boy, my mom,
so stupid.
Yeah, what an idiot. Yeah. Did you ever see this old hag? No, I'm not doing any of that. I think if it comes from a place of like, we're just poking fun.
Yeah.
I actually wrote a bunch of jokes about my mom smoking cigarettes, and
I'll get it.
But really, at the time, I was taking 3 people and combining them because it's too much to have all these characters.
Yeah.
My sister used to smoke cigarettes with the windows up in the car with her kids. And my uncle used to smoke and would always bring me things from the Marlboro catalog for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then my grandfather used to smoke, and my mom would say he would smoke with the windows rolled in the car, and she would get down in the floorboard almost to like escape the smoke.
Wow.
So I just kind of combine all those. My mom actually never smoked cigarettes.
Whoa.
I was surrounded by people that smoked cigarettes, but my mom
did you grow up in a trailer?
I did grow up in a trailer. And my sister lived next door to her, and her and her husband would both smoke cigarettes inside.
Wow.
And I would go, I stayed with them for a while because they lived next door to us because my mom worked 3rd shift, and I got prank called one time by someone who said they were going to kill me. And so
fun prank.
It was collect call. You remember you used to get collect calls where it would say it was a recording, and it would say, "This is an AT&T
incoming call from I'm going to kill you, Dusty."
Exactly. It was like it said, "This is an AT&T collect call from I know where you live. You're dead." And I was like, "Oh God!" So I stopped staying by myself. I was too young probably to be doing that anyway, but I started staying with my sister. And they smoked so much inside that I was like, I don't know. I think I'm going to start staying by myself.
I'll risk that.
It's worth the risk.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out who did that?
No. We did call the police.
That's a crazy prank call. I'm trying to think. That's your refrigerator running? That's about all we did.
Yeah. This was middle of the night. Middle of the night, I'm asleep. I wake up. I ran to my sister's house in my underwear. And
was it a kid or an adult?
It was an adult. I think what it was my mom's number in the phone book. So I think they were just because they called.
So somebody tried to kill your mom.
Yeah. They called later and left another message, and that was more geared towards a woman. Things that I can't say.
Okay.
And that's, so when the cops came, that's what recording we let them listen to.
Okay.
And
jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking these were your buddies from school.
Oh, no.
Calling as a prank call. That's different.
Yeah.
That's not really a prank. That's a felony.
Yeah. So I mean, I was surrounded by, my mom used to go to this other lady's house, and we would go there, and they would sit around and drink coffee, and they had a little lazy Susan in there.
Yeah.
And they would drink coffee, and that lady would just smoke cigarettes right there in the kitchen. I was probably 10 drinking coffee and, getting into it. Breathing in smoke.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let me tell you a little bit about AG1. The AG1 you've all heard me talking about for so long just went through a major upgrade. Did you guys know that?
No,
I can't wait to hear about it.
Got a cough over there, Dusty? What's going on?
Yeah.
He doesn't taking his AG1 today.
That's right. AG1's next gen is here.
Mm.
The same single scoop once a day, but now clinically backed and formulated with more upgraded vitamins, minerals, and probiotics. AG1's next gen is now one of the most clinically backed green powder. They went above and beyond the industry standard in testing and have made a great product even better. AG1 is always evolving, just like we are.
Yeah.
Next gen represents years of development and 4 clinical trials. The new Next Gen formula offers a more advanced, clinically backed formula that fills common nutrient gaps and supports gut health. All in the same easy once-a-day ritual. Now clinically backed with advanced formula, this is the perfect time to try AG1 if you haven't yet. I've been drinking AG1 for, this says 3 years now. It's actually closer to 5 because they've been with us since the beginning. And I'm so happy to be partnering with them. So subscribe today to try the Next Gen of AG1. If you use Nate's link, you'll also get a free bottle of AG D3K2,
Wow.
an AG1 welcome kit, and 5 of the upgraded AG1 travel packs with your first order. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/Nate to get started with AG1's Next Gen and notice the benefits for yourself. That's drinkag1.com/Nate. I know you don't do Mother's Day, but
I'm not against Mother's Day. I mean, I think I feel like I'm forced into it. Last year, I didn't give my wife, 2 years ago, I didn't give my wife anything for Mother's Day because it never even crossed my mind. My wife is my wife. My whole entire life, I've given things.
That's such a funny excuse. You didn't give me anything for Mother's Day? I wasn't thinking about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, legitimately, it's like my whole life, I get my mom something for Mother's Day. Right. And my wife is not my mom.
Oh, that was the first one where your wife was a mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get that.
And my wife is not my mom. So it never crossed my mind.
Did you get your mom something that year?
Probably not.
Okay.
So, Aaron, this is Lucy's first Mother's Day.
It is. I'm just thinking about that now.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that answers my question.
Yeah, I got to get something.
Get something from Olive.
Which is more important, would you say? You've been doing this a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Mother's Day is more important in terms of what you do? Do you think it's more important to your wife or to your actual mom?
Neither.
So you had to prioritize.
Yeah, neither one of them care that much.
Oh.
Or at least that's what I tell myself.
You've never asked them.
I'm like, they don't even care.
Yeah.
See if whichever one I say is going to act like it matters to them, and it really doesn't. But I guess my mom.
There's a TikTok that went viral of a guy interviewing people on the street, and I usually hate those videos. I'm so sick of the street interview stuff. But there's one. They're just asking guys rank your mom, your wife, and your daughter.
Jeez.
Rank them in terms of like how you have to, who you care the most about. It's crazy. I think it's obviously. I don't even know if I want to do this.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. I just tell us who's third.
But people had totally different answers
based on their relationships.
I mean, it's just like who's most important and who you're supposed to protect or help or stuff like that.
Well, there's a pretty obvious answer that nobody wants to say, I think, but it's not. Importance shouldn't be a thing, but it's.
I don't remember how it was framed.
I mean, really, it should be daughter, wife, mother. That's what
I thought. Because
it's your daughter. You brought your daughter into the world, and and that is like she relies on you for protection. But your wife is married to you, and you should be protecting your wife. And your mom hopefully has your dad to do those things for her. Right. Now, I know as people get older, or in my case, they're divorced, and but it's. I mean, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
But I can see how, easily anybody could be offended by that order.
Yeah. Now, I'll say, ideally, all three of those people, their interests would be harmonious. Yes. You'd never have to pick between the three.
Right.
But you'd be amazed at the people that were like, nah, man, that's still my mom. My mom's number one. Still. Yeah. One guy was like, my mom, my wife, my daughter. I was like, oh, God.
Your daughter's really low on that list, huh?
Jeez.
My mom, my wife, my sons, my neighbors, and then my daughters, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you're going to have to do something for Lucy.
Yeah, I'll get her something.
I did not know this. Mother's Day, busiest day of the year for restaurants.
Wow.
I feel like I knew that. If you asked me, maybe I wouldn't know. But when I waited tables, it was a big day.
Yeah.
Especially Western Sizzling. It was popping.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Father's Day, very often the mom will cook, but Mother's Day, Dad's like, we'll go out.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of cook it himself.
Yeah.
We'll go get something. I'm guessing during the day do you go get dinner for Mother's Day?
I think it's a lunch.
I think it's like a brunch because it's Sunday, so it's a brunch
after church
or something. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That's why I would have guessed Valentine's Day for that reason, because it's like one meal that everybody goes. I don't know.
My brother-in-law is from Michigan and from a fairly, well-off family. And he would tell me growing up, Mother's Day was huge. They would go out to big dinners. Everybody would dress up. It was like pretty wild how nice Mother's Day was. And his first Mother's Day down in Alabama with us, we went out for my grandmother. And he said it was the first time he ever thought, what am I doing in this family? Because my grandmother really liked Burger King. And that's where she wanted to go. So for Mother's Day, we went to Burger King for my grandmother because she liked Burger King.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law was like, what have I done?
And I'm sure because it was a great meal.
Yeah.
You had a great time. Right?
Burger King in the 90s? Come on. You know what I mean?
You had to hold a Whopper
My
in
mom,
2 hands.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom's, she's 81. She's like that now.
Yeah.
She told me the other day, she said, I went out with some friends to eat. We went to someplace, Panera's. And she said, I didn't really care for it that much. I got a sandwich and soup or whatever, $12. And she's like, she thought the price was just outrageous.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't really care.
Which maybe it is a little bit, and we're all jaded to it.
Maybe, but that's fancy eating to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I love
Panera's. Mother's Day is also the busiest day of the year for phone calls. More phone calls are made than any other time of the year, which I kind of...
Yeah.
I'd like to see the breakdown. Do you FaceTime your mom or do you call? I'd like to see the breakdown of FaceTimes versus calls.
I'd like to see me FaceTime with my mom. And then the voodoo that she thinks is going on.
Yeah. I agree, though, with your mom on that.
What? You don't like FaceTime?
No, I do. But it's weird, though, that we just have this kind of like weird black mirror here that we can conjure up anything we want. I think that's a little weird sometimes.
Yeah, it's probably not good that it's in our pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's killing us all.
Yeah. All right, look at that. I agree with you on that. Look at
that.
Look at
I'm with you. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, but
that's what I'm saying.
I've acknowledged that it's not good.
Yeah.
You ever look around the airport and just everybody's...
Yeah.
It is, when you step out of it for a second and look around, it's bizarre.
Yeah, when I'm at the airport and I take a break from my phone
and
look at everybody else and I go, what are you doing? And then I'm
gonna go right back there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken a break.
But I remember the stigma used to be, you're on your computer? What a nerd. I remember we had a family computer growing up. I played Warcraft 2 on it and I loved it. I'm in there playing on it. And then like my dad and brother would come in and go, what do you do? Like, there's people here. Quit being a nerd on the computer. Now everybody has a computer and they're just looking at it all day. It is wild. Even
my dad, I got a lot of home videos where the TV is like at a volume 1,000%, right? And it's like, but that's what's going on in my dad's house now. The TV's on 1,000%, and then his phone is as loud as it goes, and he's scrolling TikTok. You know what I mean?
Your dad is?
Oh, yeah. My dad's all over the...
That's why y'all have that in common.
That's why that clip is like, I know he's going to see it, and I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I already told Jeremiah.
He's going to duet it. Give a response.
I wish. Now that would go viral. Would be really That's funny. The viral I need. My dad yelling at me on the duet.
That ain't true. That ain't
true. That would be great. Some religions practice Mother's Day differently. On Mormons, they begin Mother's Day celebration with a family prayer, have breakfast together, and go to church as a family. I'll be at Wise Guys May 16th and 17th, and I think that's wonderful.
Well, that is a good way to go. I don't disagree with that.
You know, I looked up good moms in the Bible. Mary's pretty high up there.
Do we know how good of a mom Mary was, though? I'm not slandering her, but do we know? Like one time she lost Jesus for several days and then had to go find him at the temple. And she's like, we've been looking for you. And Jesus was like, you've been looking for me. Where do you think I'd be? My father's house.
Yeah. Kind of a smart alecky response.
Yeah. He's been missing for days.
I don't know. I'll give a little credit. The kid, she got a supernatural kid. It's probably tough to keep track of.
It is tough. Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah, I think she was a pretty good mom.
I bet so.
But also human.
Yes.
Make that clear.
Yes.
Fully human and fully. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to be theologically accurate.
Fully human and fully
divine. I don't know. Anyway.
But
Mary?
What?
Okay, let's keep going.
What? He's not 50-50. He's fully both.
Yeah. She's a sweet woman.
She's a nice gal.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Jesus.
Jesus, yes.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Mary.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mary.
Mary's not divine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
Okay, I thought that's what you were getting at, because I know Catholics think very highly of her.
Talking about JC.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Glad we did all that.
Gonna have to take a break to pray for
you. Here's what I'd never made the connection, because it's talking about good moms in the Bible, and one of them they mentioned was Hannah, and I was like, oh, that's like Dusty's wife, Hannah. Mm-hmm. She was the mother of Samuel.
Yeah,
and I don't think I'd ever knew. Is that why y'all named him Samuel?
It is. Yeah, that is ultimately why we went with the name Samuel.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever go with a New Testament name?
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of the New Testament names are taken. You know,
Yeah.
John, Matthew, James.
Yeah.
You know,
Judas,
apostles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Acts.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'll name us a Revelation.
Yeah. My mom almost named my brother Moses.
Really?
No.
I like the name Moses, but I was like, it is too. It's you know.
Well, I was just kidding, because it's Old Testament.
Noah's a big one now. There's a lot of Noahs out there.
There are a lot of Noahs.
Yeah. Let me tell you about our next sponsor, Vuori. Vuori is the new perspective on performance apparel. It is perfect if you're sick and tired of traditional old workout wear. But mainly, it is by far the most comfortable and best looking thing I wear. It gets personal.
That is true.
It gets personal quick. Vuori is incredibly versatile and designed to look great in everyday life. I love to wear it when I'm traveling and recording this podcast, or even when I go to Lowe's. You can do yard work in Vuori. It's great. Feels good. It is so comfortable, but also looks great. I do like Vuori. I mean, listen, I've been against sweatpants from the beginning of time. I don't want people to see me in pajama pants. I will burn a pair of pajama pants if they come to my house. Right. I don't even want my family to see me looking like that. But Vuori is cool. Right now, I am into...
just give them to Goodwill.
No, I don't even want other people to be subject to that.
You just burn them.
Burn them. I got a fire out back for jogging pants.
Okay.
But not these, because right now I am into the Sunday Performance Jogger. It's part of their Sunday collection. It's so soft, lightweight, with 4-way performance stretch, so it moves with you with no restrictions, which is good for Aaron. It's a fresh take on athleisure, and it will become a staple in your wardrobe. It's everyone's favorite jogger from Vuori. On top of that, finding what you need on the website takes no time. Even Brian can navigate it.
There you go.
Vuori is an
investment.
There you go. I'm saying
like it now.
It's an equal opportunity ad read here. We're all getting trashed.
How about just nobody gets trashed?
No, that's not fun. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. Not all of them, okay?
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Get your even 20% off's insane. It's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/Nate. That's VUORI.com/Nate. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/Nate and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
Amazing.
The record for being the most mom, for the most kids, single woman, 69.
Okay.
Woman had 69 kids.
Wow.
By choice, or is this some horrific situation?
Well, she had 16 pair of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets.
Did she?
This is in the 1700s.
Did she? Okay. So she probably didn't have a say in this.
Probably not.
So it was just some guy trying to break the
Maybe
record.
This is a woman in Russia.
But also maybe they were like, we need some farm hands.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do we need 60 of them though?
Yeah, we got a
That's
ranch.
a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a full college football roster. 60 people.
All right. So, I looked at sitcoms.
Well, hold on. Do you know any more about that story? Why did she set out to break the record, or is this
in the 1700s? She's like, I want to be in Guinness.
Or did she just look up and go, "Hey, I think I've done this more than anybody"?
When they finally got to 69, they fist pounded and they were like, "We did it."
Where her husband holds the record for most children, 87 with 2 wives.
Whoa!
So this guy, he had it going on.
Now, that's before you could donate and be a father that way, right? So there's guys with way more than that now, I bet. There's guys with hundreds.
There actually was a great Vince Vaughn movie about that I watched. I forget what it was called, but
I saw TikTok about it.
It was real. It's a really good movie. It's fun. It starts off a little gross, and then it has a real heartfelt turnaround to it. I really enjoyed it. I forget what it's called, but it's Vince Vaughn.
And he fathers a lot of kids?
Yeah, in the way that Aaron is talking about. And
it's called Delivery Man.
Yeah. And it's really good. I liked it. I'm a big fan of it.
Vince Vaughn, Chris Pratt. It's a good cast.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into some TV and movies before we get to your top songs, if it's okay. All right. Sitcoms. Did you guys watch the show Mom?
With Allison Janney?
Allison Janney and Anna Faris?
No. Oh, yeah. I've seen that a bunch. My dad actually really likes that. And when I go to his house, it's on. And
is that a spinoff from Hot in Cleveland? Or is that even related?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I never watched it. Hot in Cleveland was the Betty White?
Yeah.
What made you think it's a spinoff?
It just feels like the same universe.
Terrible mom. They're both terrible moms.
Wait. In what show?
And Mom.
Really? Who are the moms in it? Allison Janney and
Anna Faris.
Okay.
Anna Faris is Allison Janney's daughter, and then Anna Faris has kids, and they're both alcoholics.
Both recovering addicts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But they're getting it together now.
Yeah. I think she's still a bad mom.
Okay. What does she do?
Just a lot like they frame it in a nice Hollywood way, but if these people were just living down the street from you, you would be like, oh gosh.
They all live together?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Anna has custody of her children in the show. But.
Yeah.
It addresses real life issues like alcoholism, drug addiction, teen pregnancy, addictive gambling, homelessness, relapse. It's a lot. Pretty heavy for a show. Was it a fun? It's a comedy.
It is funny.
They're both very funny, those two actresses.
Anna Faris is one of the funniest to me. I really enjoy her. I like the show, but I'm just saying, you're saying they're good moms.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying there's a show called Mom. I put it in here.
Yeah, that's really all he said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I thought we were doing good moms.
So you're saying this is the best show of all time about moms.
Say it's got to be up
there.
If
you're looking to raise a child, watch this show.
All right, let me throw out some bad moms, and you tell me if you agree.
Okay.
Peg Bundy, Married with Children.
You can weigh in, but I think that in that relationship, Peg has to deal with Al, and I think Al is a terrible father, and I think Peg's doing the best she can in that relationship.
And he's not a great husband either, right? He's just a curmudgeon.
Yeah, I think she's doing the best she can.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I think that they're a horrible family. But I think Al is so bad that Peg's just doing what she can do.
But he's at least out there working, trying to make a living.
But she's, essentially the stay-at-home mom, though.
But she just undermines him all the time, and
undermines. Does she really?
Yeah, and emasculates him.
Okay.
I don't know. I always found Peg very attractive.
Well, now we're getting to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I was like, if I was married to Peg, I'd be treating her a lot better than that. I'll tell you.
Dusty got a little thing for Peg Bundy. Raymond's mom, and everybody loves Raymond.
I think she's a great mom. Sorry, you can answer some of these.
That's like the whole point of the show is the tough relationship she has with Raymond, right?
Overbearing.
And her parents are his parents are the problem in the show.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
We're talking about that mom.
Oh, that mom.
Yeah. Not Patricia Heaton's character.
Oh,
she's
no,
great.
I think that mom's a bad mom.
Yeah.
Probably was good growing up, but now she won't let go of them.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely won't let go. They live next door, right?
Yeah.
In the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
But also the dad's a bad dad. I think if the dad were a better dad and husband, she would not be as bad.
But I don't think Raymond is a great husband in that show either.
No, I don't. I agree.
There's an episode of that show where Raymond and his wife are at like their kids' little league game, and everybody, I don't know, the wife does something that gets everybody mad at her, and Raymond like retreats and lets them like attack his wife.
Oh yeah,
instead of standing up for her, even though the dilemma was she was wrong about whatever they were mad about. And I remember talking to my dad about that. My dad was like, well, that's part of marriage. Even when they're wrong, you can't team up with strangers.
Never.
Right.
Yeah. So that's like a go-to example in my head of like a bad husband behavior is from that show. But I think that was he learns his lesson in the show. It's not like he was rewarded for that or anything.
Yeah. I think that, Raymond's problem is his parents. His parents messed him up, and now he's just trying to cope out here.
That's right. Burn the house.
Yeah. I mean, the longer this goes on, the more I'm like, burn the house.
Did you guys watch Arrested Development?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of
Lucille
it,
Bluth?
Yeah. It's maybe the worst TV mom of all time.
Yeah, these are all like comically bad moms.
Yeah.
What about Livia Soprano?
I never watched the show.
She tried to have her son killed.
Okay, I'm not saying. Well, I don't know the son,
but he was a gangster. Tony Soprano. He was a gangster. So maybe she was a good one.
Yeah.
Peggy Hill, King of the Hill.
Peggy is, in my opinion, a great mom. Great mom, but Peggy has plenty of flaws that get her in trouble. But I do think great mom. Not necessarily the best person, and not necessarily the best wife. Great mom, though. That's what I think.
Right.
What do you think?
I agree with you.
All right. What about this? Pam's mom on The Office.
Which one? She had two different moms.
I know. The one who hooked up with Michael, her boss.
Well, they dated. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. For
okay. Well, then dated her boss.
I don't know if she.
I never made it that far in the show.
I think that's not good.
To date your daughter's boss.
Yeah.
But I think you're also. But even at the end of it, Pam gave her blessings, right?
Let me ask this though: did Pam's mom leave Pam's dad, or how did that?
They had a divorce. They got divorced.
How did it? Who divorced who?
It was the. If I remember correctly, Pam's dad told his wife, "I will never love you the way that Jim loves my daughter." And I realized that,
Jim caused the
you walk into a room and
divorce.
I feel nothing. So they just fell out of love.
I can't. I don't know. I can't stand with Pam's mom. Then I don't see.
He divorced her.
He did divorce her.
Yeah.
Because the way you framed it is he said it and then she left him. I thought so. If he divorced her, I'm with Pam's mom.
Okay,
I support it.
Yeah,
because hey, Michael's a bit of a loser, but I think he's a good catch.
He's a sweet guy.
He's an idiot.
Look how it ended up breaking up, though. You realized she was too old.
That's true. Well,
he left her.
Yeah, he was. He was also a really terrible guy in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Pam was looking out for her mom. Abby Bartlett from The West Wing.
Oh man, great wife, great first lady.
Okay,
we don't know a lot about.
She was a surgeon.
Yeah, she was a good doctor.
Messed up
probably
kids.
not a great mom.
Weren't the kids messed up?
If you spend a lot of time, if your husband's the president,
yeah,
and then you're a surgeon,
yeah,
you're probably not spending a lot of time with the kids.
Yeah, she has a good relationship with two of them for sure, but it's complicated because they live the least normal life of all time. So who knows? I mean, how good of a mom can I don't know, Laura Bush be? I'm sure I don't know. I have no idea, but you're just, I got to go on a helicopter to Austria tomorrow. Sorry, I can't be at your volleyball game.
No, I read there was an episode where he tried to get one of his daughters to get into politics and didn't understand why she didn't want to follow his footsteps. You don't remember that?
No, I don't think that. I think
okay.
His son, a guy who was marrying his daughter, was trying to get into politics and use his relationship to the president.
I like how much conflict these comments we're making can potentially cause. I like that.
Wait, what do you mean?
The comment section of this podcast. Saying these people are good moms or bad moms. I like that.
You think it's going to raise a lot of comments?
I think so. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's all about the clicks.
Only good moms listen to this podcast, I think. It's all good moms in the comments.
Oh, let's do a couple movies. Sally Field and Forrest Gump.
Terrible mom. I'm sorry.
Why? She was looking out for her special son.
Well, I guess you're right. She
went above and beyond to get her kid into school.
She did make some sacrifices to get him into school. You know what? I've not seen the movie in a long time, but I do remember that now. Yeah. I guess I was just thinking about Jenny, and I'm gonna give Sally Fields more credit.
What does she have to do with Jenny?
No, when I think about Forrest Gump, I just think about Jenny, how terrible of a person she was. And then it just
the mom, you gotta give her the context and the understanding. Single mother in rural Alabama in the 50s, raising a kid with disabilities. Like,
I'm gonna give it up to her, Sally Fields. Good mom in that movie. I like the timelines don't match up, but I like to think Forrest Gump's Burt Reynolds' kid from Smokey and the Bandit.
I think we'd all like to think that.
Yeah.
What about Toni Collette in Sixth Sense?
Great mom, right?
Because she stood up for her son who clearly had some issues, and
I don't think she stood up for him, did she?
Well, I mean, she didn't just like when he was being shoved into a.
Oh yeah, she protected.
She protected him and didn't just think he's crazy.
Also, single mother with raising a kid who's complicated.
I'm not as familiar with the movie, but I do love Toni Collette. Yeah, I know
Toni Collette's awesome.
Yeah, Toni Collette's really great.
Now imagine your kid telling you, "I see dead people."
Yeah,
and you're trying to raise this kid alone, and then the kid starts saying, "Hey, grandma came and visited me today." And your mom's been dead for years. How do you handle that?
I'm going to believe it, and it's going to freak me out.
He's going to have to go stay with his sister. Smoke and all.
I'm going to change my preference list on that. I'm going to go wife, mom, daughter.
Molly Weasley from Harry Potter.
Great mom. It's like the prototypical...
That lets her son do witchcraft? Okay.
And it essentially becomes Harry Potter's mom in that show. There's a line in the show where they said, "Molly, Harry's not your kid." And she says, "He might as well be." And he overhears it. And it's like a special relationship.
She says, "He might as well be all this dinner I'm preparing for him." I don't know. I've never seen it. But
it's always over here.
He kills Bellatrix Lestrange. So,
whoa.
Yeah. It's hard to spoil the book that's been out for 20 years, but it's worth it.
What do you think?
I don't have any idea. I know Ron Weasley, that's a redheaded kid.
Yeah.
But I don't.
She's got like 7 kids, I think, and they're poor and they have red hair. And that's pretty much it. But she's like a good mom.
Yeah.
And she's a little like overweight and jolly looking.
Okay. I like an overweight jolly.
Yeah.
Now I see where we're going here.
Pleasant. Yeah.
Peg's, don't call Peg overweight.
Well, who did?
Okay. Oh, I thought you were making. She's still on the screen, and then she's redheaded. She's redheaded, and then you said, "Now we're making some headway."
No, I was making fun of Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like, "Don't drag Peg into this."
All right, I got one more.
Bundy, not Hill.
Ted. Yeah.
Daniel LaRusso's mom in Karate Kid.
Well, there is some debate that I've seen on some stuff about why she moved her son all the way across the country like she did.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know those details, but I'm leaning towards bad mom.
I've never seen it.
Really?
I think she's a bad mom because she moved her son all the way across the country, away from all of his friends.
He alludes that she never even discussed it with him.
Yeah, and that she didn't even seem to really have the job when she showed up to where she was going.
Was she escaping an abusive
Well, that's what I wonder. So we don't know enough details. There's some details that
I think she has the job, right?
I thought she didn't. Like she ended up waiting tables or something. But
I don't think so.
Some people, fan theories are that they were, like maybe she was married to a guy in the mob and she was escaping, and that's what this was all about. Well, in that case, great mom.
She's a single mom trying to take it. Now she does let him just hang out with the maintenance man all day. They become really good friends. In Karate Kid 2, he goes to she lets him go to Okinawa where he fights to the death. So that could have gone
I think
bad.
by that time he's out of high school, though. He's an adult at that point.
He was about to go to college.
Yeah.
Instead, he held off. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of the series.
Yeah.
And of the series of movies. And I watch a little bit of Cobra Kai. I don't have as much time as I used to but
I finally finished it.
I'm on the last season.
Yeah.
What do you think the best marriage in a TV show or movie is? You see like bad marriages a lot, but every now and then like there's a really like good. You ever watch Friday Night Lights?
I didn't.
That's like that's a great marriage. Another one I would say Home Improvement.
Home Improvement. That's what I was going to say.
Like
that's a good one.
He's a doofus, obviously, but I don't know. It felt like a good marriage.
Last Man Standing. He has a good marriage with his wife.
I've never watched that
That's
show.
a good one.
Yeah.
That's
The Cosby Show.
Tim Allen, great husband.
Yeah,
that's what we know.
Actually, a lot of the '90s, like Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince, they had a great marriage, even though his wife got mysteriously switched out on the show. Family Matters seemed like they had a great marriage, even though the wife moved the mother-in-law in, which I don't support. So I didn't feel like that was a good move on her part. Really put Carl in a tight spot. And let's see, Growing Pains.
I don't know that one. It's a little before me.
I'm a little bit older than you guys. So the Cosby Show was big.
Cosby Show was great.
Yeah.
And they were.
We didn't know what Cliff Huxtable was up to. But,
but Claire Huxtable was a great mom.
Yeah.
And they kind of worked together. I mean, there was some funny back and forth, but it was a show where they were in charge and not the kids.
Step by Step, Patrick Duffy, Suzanne Summers. I mean, of course, they were both divorced or whatever, but they came together. Good marriage. Brady Bunch, same situation. Good marriage, though. Mm-hmm. They were divorcees, but they came together.
Yeah.
I think that showing good families used to be prevalent, and then they got into showing bad families. I actually think we mentioned that Kevin James and whatever that show was. I think they had a great marriage. I like that show a lot.
Yeah,
King of Queens?
Yeah. It's complicated.
But they had no kids, though.
They had no kids. What about Skylar White?
A miscarriage at one point. It's a pretty dark episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Skylar White, I've only learned this from the internet, but is the most hated wife of all time, I think.
Yeah. But a pretty good mom, right?
Seems to be a good mom, other than laundering millions of dollars with her meth cook husband.
Well, she didn't do it.
Yeah, but she
easily
laundered the money and allowed him to do it, and opened up car washes with illicit money, and still she was involved in a lot of.
I'll tell you what, the
bad
internet
stuff.
hates her.
I know, which I think I did the first time I watched it. She was so annoying to me because you're rooting for this guy who's objectively horrible and has killed people and cooking meth and selling it all over the world.
Right.
And she is just a spoke in the wheel, and you're
look at her. Look at her life. Scott. Yeah, she's they got a son with
cerebral palsy.
Yeah, and then her husband's just a chemist, a professor, a teacher, and
high school teacher.
They're living a normal life,
right?
And then one day he's like meth kingpin.
Well, he gets cancer.
Yeah, but I'm saying he becomes meth kingpin.
Yeah,
and I mean that's gonna shake it up.
Yeah, but then she finds out and she becomes complicit in it for like a year.
Probably afraid.
She liked the power and the money too.
Yeah.
She got off on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Dusty, you want to give us your top songs?
Here we
go. Okay.
Top moms?
All right, so
I want to honorable mention A Song for Mama by Boyz II Men.
Well, you know what?
Really a country
it could
song?
be on there.
It could be on there.
Well, you know what I was finding as there is two songs that
by Boyz II Men.
No, there's one by Tupac called I wrote it down called
Hail Mary.
Dear Mama.
Dear Mama.
That's a really good one. The first verse of the Nelly song "Lovin' Me" is about his mom. The second verse gets
what about
pretty dirty. But
Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J.
I'm not as familiar. Okay, here we go.
Brian's walk-up song.
All right, so we're gonna start with a few that are not in the top 5.
Okay, so we got 5, but we're gonna do some honorable mentions.
Did Hannah do a list too?
No. Okay. So here we go. This is the first one I'm going to start with, but not technically on the list.
Okay.
It's the first one everybody thinks of when they think about songs about mamas, I think, and that's "Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys." Good song, one of the best. Nothing really to do with Mama.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
So that's why. Here's one. You like this girl a lot. Ashley McBride.
Oh,
it's a song called Light On in the Kitchen. It's a really good mom song, and it really focuses on mom. But I'll be honest with you, not a huge fan of the song.
Okay.
I feel like if you're a girl and this resonates with you, Ashley McBride had one on the list from the Fathers called
Bible in a 44.
Bible in a 44, really great. All right. Here's one by Holly Williams, daughter of Hank Williams Jr., called Mama. And it's about the breakup of her mom and Hank Williams Jr. and how strong her mom was. Good song about moms. Not that into it.
Yeah.
Here's one that I am into, and we're getting to the top 5.
Is this number 5?
No. We're getting to
top 5.
This is a really good one. It is a bit about the mom, but it's Dolly Parton, Coat of Many Colors.
Yeah.
Really good song. Really good. Here's one called by still not there yet. We're almost there.
You don't want to talk about
a movie?
Coat of Many Colors?
Coat of Many Colors is, it's about her growing up poor, and her mom, she didn't have a coat, and her mom had all these rags, and she sewed them together, and Dolly Parton was really proud of it. And then she went to school, and everybody made fun of her for it. But it's really great. It meant a lot to her. I like the song.
Yeah, it's great.
Big fan of it. Here's one by a guy named Justin Townes Earl. This would be number 6, and then we're going to get into it, okay? Number 6, Mama's Eyes by Justin Townes Earl. Now, if you're listening to this, it's the 90% of this song is about his dad. It's about how much like his dad he is. And Justin Townes Earl's dad is Steve Earle, who was a bit of a partier, from my understanding, bit of a drug addict, kind of drugged Justin along. And Justin was also a bit of an addict, has passed away now. Not exactly sure how it happened, but so the song is like how much like his dad he is. But then at the end, he says he lights a cigarette in the mirror and sees his reflection. He's like, I got my mama's eyes, and then he says, I can still see wrong from right, because I got my mama's eyes.
That's nice.
So I think it's really good. I love it. All right, here we go. Number 5, a band called Confederate Railroad, a song called Jesus and Mama. Really good. And a lot of these, at least 3 of the songs in my top 5 are going to follow this same theme. This is about a guy who had a lot of problems, and his Jesus and Mama always loved him, and he knew that, and it was guiding him. Okay.
All right.
Here's number 4, Johnny Paycheck, I'm the Only Hell Mama Ever Raised. And this song is a hard-hitting song. I mean, it is. Johnny Paycheck is unbelievable. I don't listen to this song. My friend Alec Parent says he believes Johnny Paycheck is the best country singer ever. And Johnny Paycheck has really, really great songs. There's a line in this song that I don't like that turns me off of it and keeps me not listening to it. But he is just describing his character. He says, she tried to turn me on to Jesus, but I turned on to the devil's ways. Right?
That's the line you don't like?
That's the line I don't like, because I don't like singing that. But he's just describing his character.
Yeah,
his mom tried really hard to turn me on to Jesus, but I kept going the other way. Great song. Okay, number 3. This is very similar, but a lighter version. This is called Mama Tried by Merle Haggard.
Oh, yeah.
Same kind of theory as the Johnny Paycheck song, but a lighter version. Except for, he says, I turned 21 in prison doing life without parole. So obviously he did something pretty bad.
Yeah.
Number 2, debatable if this is a country song, but I think it is. And it's, in my opinion, one of the best songs ever written, Simple Man by Leonard Skinner.
Oh.
It's all about his mom giving him advice. 100% about his mom giving him advice. It's one of the best songs ever written. And everybody yells Freebird, and they should be yelling Simple Man.
Wow.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't think they need to yell. They're going to play it,
Honorable mention. You always got to do that before the first one.
All right.
This is going to be Fancy by Reba McEntire.
Wow.
I'm not saying she's a good mom, but much like Sally Fields, in this song, this is also I believe it's a Bobby Gentry song, but she realizes that it may not be the right person, but it's written by someone else. But her mom realizes, hey, things are not going well, and it's not going to get better for us. Mm-hmm. But I got an opportunity for you. And as the song develops, Reba McEntire's character says how she appreciated what her mom did for her. Mm-hmm. And now she's got, a mansion and a hotel suite in New Orleans, I think. And she's doing well. Life turned around. She says, her mom says, I'm real sick and the baby's going to starve to death. So, okay. So number one is my favorite. And I think it is the best song about moms. But the title is deceiving. The title is So Much Like My Dad by George Strait. Mm. And what the song is about is his wife, the character, George Strait, let's say, his wife is leaving him. She said she's going to leave. And so he's returning home and he's having a conversation with his mom. He said, I know that I've surprised you coming home. It's not my usual time of year. And he gets into telling his mom about what is going on. And then he says, she said she's going to leave me, mama, and nothing's going to make her stay. And then he says, but he said, he says to his mom, you always said I was so much like my dad. Mm-hmm. So if I'm so much like my dad, there must have been times you felt this way.
Right.
So tell me word for word what he said that always made you stay. Very powerful song, and deserves the number one spot.
Wow.
Dusty Slay's top 5 country songs about moms.
Yeah, that's great.
You guys like that list?
It's a good one.
Big time.
I thought of one Reba McEntire, another Reba. Is There Life Out There?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Well, as I said early on, this was a hard list to put together because as I was thinking about it, I was like, what are there? Now, if you look on Spotify, there's songs about moms. I didn't like any of those songs. But Is There Life Out There is a good one.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any to add, Aaron?
I had Humble and Kind, which is initially by Lori McKenna, but Tim McGraw did a cut of it. It's about a mother's prayer to her children.
Okay.
She wishes they'll be humble and kind, and just kind of a list of what she wants out of her kids' lives. I think it's great.
I like that.
It's a great song.
That's good. Oh, there's another kind of, I'm just thinking about this now. Martina McBride. I never liked this song.
Independence Day.
Independence Day. I remember it's, her mom is in an abusive relationship with her dad, I'm assuming. And so she sends her daughter off to the parade for Independence Day. And then she burns the house down, getting rid of both her and her husband, setting her daughter free from this abuse. I always listen to that. I've never been in that situation, but my thought always listening to this song was, why don't you just take your daughter and drive across the country and let your daughter hang out with a maintenance man at an apartment complex and learn karate? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, that's a good.
Instead of making your daughter an orphan.
Right.
That's beautiful.
But it's a very popular song, and I'm sure people relate to it in a way I don't.
It's a good list.
Yes,
it's a good list.
It was a good list.
Thank you. I have 3 people that I reach out to. My friend Tim Duggar is a country singer. My friend Jesse Daniel is a country singer. They're very good. If you've not listened to their stuff, but Tim is, and then Travis Wolf, who is, I believe, still your agent. Used to be mine, but they're all 3 very country music knowledgeable. So when I'm having trouble with a list, I reach out to them, and they're ready with some stuff. Most of this I was able to put together, but they did throw a few. Travis threw in a couple, especially that I had not thought of. So
when we do a episode on Labor Day, you should reach out to Jesse and be like, hey, do you know any good songs about men working?
Oh, yeah, I should. Yes,
I'll call Greg Warren. He's the expert.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Thank you, Dusty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Talked about moms.
Yeah, that felt good.
Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to my mom and my wife, both of whom are unbelievable mothers. I don't know how they do it. Think about it a lot, about my mom and raising 4 kids and having dinner cooked every night and all the stuff that we just kind of took for granted. And then I'm seeing my wife become that person now. It's pretty great. Shout out to all the moms.
Well, I can't let you do that and then not do it myself.
I figured that would open the floor.
But I agree. I mean, my dad was always around, but my parents were divorced, and my mom worked third shift at a plant that made VHS tapes. Yeah. So that I could, grow up and not be, not have a bad life.
Yeah.
As much as I talk about my life and as many ways as my life really could have gone, it all worked out, and I'm very thankful. And my wife is a really great mom. My wife was an actress and a comedian, and I don't think that she thought that she had mom instincts, but she really gets into it, and she's a really great mom. So
that's great. I feel like motherhood's less about instincts and more about choices and character. Does that make any sense? I don't even know if I thought about what I just said.
I don't even know if I believe. I just used the word, but I mean, it's like, I think she just, because when we got together, we agreed to not have kids.
Yeah.
We said we're not going to have kids.
Yeah. And then we had 2.
And then we have 2. We'd like to have more, honestly, but we're older, so I don't know if we will. But
well, I guess now I have to give a shout out to my mom, wife too, even though I don't believe it, but I gotta say it. Now, my wife, my mom's awesome mom. Yeah. Obviously, I was a rebel in school, wild guy. She had a reel in.
Yeah. You were the Johnny Paycheck of Lebanon.
Exactly. Lebanon. And my wife's great and a great mom, and I feel the same way. So it's awesome.
Say it the biblical way, Lebanon.
That is what it's named after.
Yeah.
And I think we're coming to Daisy's birthday party on Saturday.
All right.
So we'll see your mom there, right?
Well, we'll see. No, I think she is going to be there.
She was there last year.
Yeah.
All right. So we talk about this weekend?
Let's do it.
Let's see. Friday night, I am in Madisonville, Kentucky at the Ballard Convention Center. Got my friends. What's going on, Aaron?
Nothing.
It's a happy place.
I'm sure it'll be good.
It'll be great.
Are you doing the scrambled fundraiser?
Nope.
Sunny side.
This is for
just trying to bring it back full circle.
This is for since you asked, Save Otter Lake. We got to save the Otter Lake.
I'm
go help do it, and I'm taking Paula and John with me. And
nice.
It's going to be a great show.
That is a good show.
But I tell them we can't stay. We got to get back for.
Paul and John are always talking about saving otters, so this is a gig for them.
Well, who knows? It might to save the lake, you may have to get rid of the otters, but we'll see.
Yeah, okay.
And then that's this Friday, May 9th. So come to that, please. May 16th, 17th, I'm at Wise Guys Comedy Club in Salt Lake City. Love to see everybody there for that. And
remember when we did that together? Remember when you and I were friends?
Mm-hmm. The good old days.
That was fun, right? We went on that hike.
You bought a drone.
I did. That was when I brought how about that?
Yeah.
That feels like a long time ago, right?
It was a long time ago.
That was the first time we started doing shows after the podcast started. And we were like, is anybody going to show up? And they still haven't yet.
Well, that very first one we did in Woodstock, Georgia, I think we were both blown away.
Yeah, that was really cool.
You thought we're on our way.
I did.
I've been fooled like that before. Too.
You go, guys, it's happening. I'm like scared. It's happening. I don't know if I'm ready.
It's happening so fast.
Yeah.
No, it's been awesome. You're gonna have that's awesome.
Yeah.
May 16th, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Greensburg technically, but I've been advised to just say Pittsburgh, and then they'll figure out the specifics.
Yeah.
But I'm doing a show there May 16th, and then taking over the state of Indiana for a couple nights. May 31st, South Bend, Indiana, at the Stockroom East. And then the next night, June 1st, Fort Wayne, Indiana, at Summit City Comedy Club. Come on out. If you're in any of those cities, I'd love to see you. God bless, and be safe.
Okay. May 13th, I'll be at Zany's here. I have a show, Dusty Slade's Grand Ole Comedy Show, May 13th. May 16th, Portland, Maine. Very excited about it.
Beautiful.
Love it there.
You ever heard the song Portland, Maine by Donovan Woods?
You sent it to me last time.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it is good. And then good taste in music. And May 17th, New York City.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah, buy tickets to Portland, Maine, and New York City. My Zany show normally sells out, so I'm not too worried about that. But buy some tickets to Portland and to New York City. I'm not worried about any of that.
Yeah,
I never worry, but I just want you to come because it's a good show.
Right.
It's a good show. I've recorded my special, and I'm working on a new hour. And the new hour is already popping off in a very positive way.
That's cool.
I've heard the new hour actually feels like an hour 20.
Yeah. Well, I do an hour of that mostly, and then I throw in about 20 of the old stuff. I don't have a new closer yet, so
that's tough, man.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, you want to wrap it up, Aaron?
That's it. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Check us out. We love you all. And, goodbye, folks. And hey, Bear. What do we say? And we love you.
Yeah.
And
none of this is lost on us.
See, not even a single part of it.
Yep.
Is lost on us.
I lost the thread of that last part.
Yeah. We'll see you next week on the Nateland podcast. And we love you.
Boom.